Good afternoon. My name is Rebecca Matheny, and I'm the Executive Director of the Louisville Downtown Partnership. And I'm very pleased to have everyone here today as we have an exciting relaunch of our Positive Change Program. The Positive Change Program was started in 2012 with 12 boxes. It's been very successful. The objective of the program is to help the most vulnerable folks in our community by making sure that people have the opportunity to know where their money is going and donate. And really have it be visible and think through as they're going through downtown how to help other people. 100% of the donations go to social service agencies, and we have, in this new launch, we're going to be adding boxes, so we'll have 24 in downtown, and then we have a very exciting mobile positive change box that our ambassadors can take with them and encourage people and have that one-on-one connection to explain the program. To date, the Positive Change Program has donated $9,177.93 to the Coalition for the Homeless. I really want to thank not only my team with LDP for making this program such a success, but also our terrific partners. We have Eric Friedlander with the Mayor's Office here today, and I really want to thank the Coalition and Melissa Kratzer and Natalie Harris, the Director, who couldn't be with us today. So at this point, I'd like to introduce our Mayor, the Mayor of Compassion, and who has really supported us in our efforts and trying to really address very complex problems. Mayor Fisher.
Thank you, Rebecca, and good afternoon, everybody. You know, it's appropriate we're here in the heart of downtown. When you take a look at what's going on around here and compare it, let's say, just to 5 or 10 years ago, you can see there's all type of activity taking place, $13 billion of investment, over 70,000 new jobs, and wages are up, so that's all good. But we know that our job and that our duty, especially when we talk about our value as a compassionate city, is to make sure that prosperity and opportunity reaches everybody here in our city. This has been a problem since civilization has been around, but it's one that we've got to dive into as deeply as we can. And that's why these partnerships are so important for us. Nobody can do this by themselves. And when you think about the partners like we work with, Downtown Partnership, for instance, does a wonderful job here downtown, Coalition for the Homeless, and all of our citizens who I think I'll put our kindness and compassion of Louisvillians up against everybody. When we all work together, we can open up pathways for even more and more folks. And we've been working on this for an awful long time. Through our Office of Resilience and Community Services. Our chief is here, Eric Friedlander, who was mentioned earlier. When you think about our Give a Day, week of service, and over 200,000 people getting out and helping other Louisvillians, a lot of that work has been focused on folks that need a home as well. And then from a policy standpoint and action standpoint of our city, we've really focused on reducing homelessness and increasing services. There have been a few specific areas that are activities where we've been really able to shine. In 2014, the White House, then with President Obama and his wife Michelle issued a challenge to America's mayors to eliminate veterans homelessness. We were one of the first cities to take that on, and working with the Coalition for the Homeless, we identified 360 homeless veterans in our community. And then we went about the work to provide housing vouchers for them, and then they quickly had a home, which changes somebody's life immediately. It is hard to be productive when you do not have a place to go home to every night. So that is where we started out. We then achieved functional zero by November 2015 with veterans, which that means if there's a veteran in our community right now that is homeless, we have procedures in place to make sure that veteran gets housed. So that was very good progress, and we were the second city in the country after New Orleans to achieve this accomplishment. Last year, we partnered with the Coalition for the Homeless and other community partners on a 100-day challenge to house 100 homeless youth. We exceeded that goal by housing 115 youth, and we all felt good about that. Little did we know what that was going to lead to, because when you do good work, good people recognize that. So it was just 2 weeks ago when HUD was in town, and we announced a $3.4 million grant that the city of Louisville received from HUD, made up for the Coalition to the Homeless, is managing this, to house more homeless youth. So that focus we had on 100 led to $3.4 million, which is going to end up helping hundreds and hundreds of people. And I think that to me really just said a lot about our city. One, we rise to the challenge, we do good work, and then that just prepares us to make other things happen as a result. And that $3.4 million, I mean, that's real money when you talk about homeless services. So this will not be over. As I said, it's going to continue to be a challenge for the community. That's why this is a really simple way that we can all help out by making positive change. Can I make a symbolic donation right here? That was easy. Okay, everybody can do that. As Rebecca said, we collected almost 10 grand to do this. And it was really neat that we were just out here and Ali Mohammed walked by. This is my friend Ali Mohammed here. This is a guy that when he came to Louisville decided he was going to camp out in Louisville for 9 months. He decided he was going to camp out because he saw great opportunity here, but he didn't have money for housing either. Now, that's a long, beautiful story, actually. But the Coalition for the Homeless ended up being able to work with Ali while he was going to JCTC, which now he's a full-time renter in this building right over across the street. And he's also a great entrepreneur in the city with Storywood bow ties. So if anybody is looking for a snappy tie, look no further than Ali's neck right here. Okay, and he's got a full selection of different bow ties that he's been really successful selling here in our city. The wood comes from, I was at the Louisville Bats earlier, he takes the baseball bats that are broken, he makes bow ties out of that and pins out of that and sells those. He sells derby stuff. He does all kind of things.
But I couldn't have done that without
Ali Mohammed.
Okay, so everybody knows who I am. No need for an introduction. But a little bit about myself. When I moved to Louisville, I was homeless. I slept in Cherokee Park for about 9 months. I woke up, got on the TARC bus every morning, and I went to JCTC through a program at the mayor's office, Safe and Healthy Neighborhoods. I was introduced to a program called the Samuel Plato Academy for Historic Restoration and Preservation, where I learned how to go in historic buildings and do restoration work. So I was going to both of these schools simultaneously while being homeless. It got cold, it was Christmas. I was found by the president of Bellarmine. He introduced me to the Homeless Coalition. The next thing I know, I had an apartment. A year later, I've grown a company over $250,000. We've got partnerships with Pro Soccer, the Louisville Bats, Whiskey Row on Main Street, Brown Foreman. We have a lot of other things going on, but none of that would have been possible without the Homeless Coalition. The mayor said something about, when you're homeless, it's hard to be productive. My grades increased dramatically when I had my own apartment. The way my business was operating became smoother, and it was just a lot easier to be productive when I had my own space and my own place to live, and I didn't have to worry about my stuff getting rained on or my textbooks getting rained on. So I thank the Homeless Coalition for this opportunity. I've outgrown the Homeless Coalition, and I now rent from Kent and Bill Whalen at the Guthrie and Coke. So it's a good upgrade from a tent. And that's my story. That's all I have to say. Thank you very much, and thank you for everything you've done for us. I love you.
Thank you, brother. Well, Nolly just happened to be walking by, so if that doesn't demonstrate how all this is supposed to work, and the entrepreneurship on top of that, that's just great. So, Melissa, this wouldn't have happened without you and the coalition. I mean, the Coalition for the Homeless just does, quietly does their work every day. And homelessness is a challenge, is relentless. And so you have to have folks working in that space that never give up. And I'm so proud that we're a city that has the Coalition for the Homeless with Natalie and Melissa and the whole team here. So, Melissa, if you'd add a few thoughts to us, we'd appreciate this.
Well, I just want to turn that right back around and say we couldn't do this work without all of us coming together, to everybody doing their part to end homelessness in our community. The coalition has 32 member agencies, and we also work with dozens of other community partners. We're all about collaboration, but we can't do any of this work without individuals like you all stepping up, putting your change in the boxes so that we can help people like Ali, and just moving this ball forward down the court. So we're grateful for Louisville Downtown Partnership. We're grateful for the partnership with the mayor and for everybody just doing what they can to be part of this work. So whether that's putting change in your boxes, volunteering at a homeless agency, we need people to step up to be hosts for our new Host Homes program to host young adults who are homeless. there's lots of ways that you can make a difference in our community, and it's going to take all of us coming together to do that. So thank all of you. Thank Louisville Downtown Partnership.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right. So, Melissa, if we want, like the news stations in the morning with their crawlers there, if people are seeing this and they say, I want to help, who should they contact? What's the information on that?
They can contact me. Yeah.
So,
My name is Melissa Kratzer, and my email is mkratzer@louhomeless.org, or you can call us at 636-9550.
and then they could also go to www.louhomeless.org. So if your news directors could put that on the crawler in the morning, that would be a wonderful thing. Okay, so in closing, I just want to thank everybody that's contributed so far to the Positive Change program. You can see how it's helping folks, and as you walk through here and you got that extra change in your pocket, it may not make any difference to you all, but I tell you, when it all comes together, it makes a big difference to the people's lives here in our cities. We've seen by Ollie and many others. So it looks like we got a check here or something here that we're about ready to do. Rebecca, what's up?
This is a ceremonial check for the coalition, because the other thing you could do is show up at the coalition's offices and hand them a big check like this.